Yeah, Raider Nation, how are you doing? It's As Captain Jack, and we are live here. I'm on Facebook over here at the Captain Jack Rackham. I'm on YouTube over here at Captain Jack Rackham Levy. We are going to have a great time tonight because we are talking pure Raider football. So as you know, the start of the show, we start with the bluff. That is the bottom line up front. And tonight, since we're doing a Raider-centric show, my bluff is all about the Raiders. In case you haven't been keeping informed, the Raiders have been picking up some people, but we won't talk about that just yet. The bottom line up front right now is this. What the Raiders have been doing to clear more cap space. First time on YouTube, sound is better. Yep. Get over to YouTube there, Frank. And the Elder is in the house as well. Get over to YouTube, Elder. You know the drill. The bottom line is the fact that the Raiders cut A.J. McCarron, saving themselves $5 million in cap space. That was pretty much expected. But the bombshell is this. Jordy Nelson was cut. And that was kind of a surprise because Gruden said that he was probably going to be coming back this year. The thing is about that is that I think that John meant that he was going to be back, but I don't think John knew that he was going to be getting both people that we will talk about in a couple of minutes. Other things to think about is that who's going to be next? Donald Penn possibly at right tackle? Possibly. There's also a certain wide receiver by the name of Seth Roberts. Could he be the next going? There's going to be some more guys getting dropped, but we'll see how that is. Late breaking news is the fact that there is a linebacker in Alameda. His name is Brown as well. We'll see if he actually stays this time. This is Zach Brown, and no, it's not the guy, the country singer either. So that is the bottom line up front. This is the Ask Captain Jack show. Thank you for everybody coming on board. I am pleased to announce my special guest, one of my favorite Raiders that I got a chance to hang out with previously. The reason why I like this gentleman is, I'm going to say this right now. The night before a game in New York, this gentleman came out and met with a whole bunch of fans in New York City the night before the game. He wasn't out drinking. He wasn't out partying. He made an appearance with Raider Nation with the fans in New York, and I will always remember that. A very, very awesome Raider, a special team stalwart and standout, a linebacker everybody loves. Isaiah, you know him better as Ike Ekajuba. Thank you for joining me there, Ike. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Cap. Thank you for having me.
I tell you, it's my pleasure to have you there, Ike, and I appreciate you coming out here. By the way, Ike is there's some things going on in Ike's house, so we're gonna keep it short because Ike has what was it, a cold, a flu, what's going on at the house there, Ike?
Oh, yeah, I got my youngest is sick. He's got a strep throat, and so he's got a fever now for a couple of days. We're trying to get him through.
Okay, well, blessings to you, Ike. We'll make sure we all keep a prayer out to you. And Ike, I'm going to throw it to you. You are a Raider through and through. You know, once a Raider, always a Raider, and that always leads true. I think the only people that does not include is a certain number 99 and a certain number 18. But that's the way it always is. Once a Raider, always a Raider. And basically those guys did it to themselves. But I tell you, 50 will always be Jim Otto's original number and Ike Ekajuba to me. So thank you again, sir. So Ike, your thoughts about what's going on with the Raiders as of right now?
Oh, man. I mean, now, just off the news we've been hearing, I mean, there's a lot of excitement in Raider Nation. Gruden going into his, second year here, and we just got, couple receivers to help Derek Carr out. So we're really, really excited about what the Raiders are going to be able to do this year. And I mean, we're backing them 100%. All these free agent signings are showing us that we're ready to compete right now.
And I tell you what, now granted, we still have the draft to go through yet. We have obviously these big free agent signings. How familiar are you with the coaching staff that we have right now?
I know some of them. I was playing when Coach Tom Cable was a coach. So I didn't play under Gruden the first time, but yeah, the one I know very well. I know. Excuse me. I mean, O-line coach, and right now that's really who I've known since I played. So everybody else, I'm still kind of getting a feel for. Met Coach Gruden last year throughout the year, so getting to know him, but didn't play under him. So it's one of those things. It's a learning process for us.
Gotcha. And when you were over there checking out the team, what was your feel last year for how they were adjusting to the Gruden 2.0 regime?
Players adjusted really well. I mean, everybody is a professional. You know what you're expected to do. So they went out there and did it to the best of their ability. We had some injuries that kind of kept us from I think we set really high goals as Raider fans. After, a couple of years ago, we had 12 wins. So we know for a fact that, we can perform. So we had really high expectations going into the year last year. And, kind of depleted by injury and things like that. So we're looking at this as, kind of a rebuild, rebolster our roster. And like I said, with, got the free agents waiting on the draft, but I think we're getting the pieces in place to be able to compete.
Okay. And again, there's a lot going on, not just with the Raiders, but obviously with the AFC West. The Chiefs have done, I think, a little bit of plussing and minusing. They picked up some good players, but they've also let a good portion of their locker room strength go with their safety being gone. The Broncos picked up Flacco, but they traded, Case Keenum out of the division. A lot of flux going on in Denver. And, of course, the Chargers are still the Chargers, but one of our signings took one of their assets away. So, again, I'm not asking you to foretell the season. I mean, it's not even it's mid-March, but obviously you got some good feelings of what we got going on so far, sir.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just talked about Terrell Williams from the Chargers. He's a good player. I mean, he had a little bit down year in terms of numbers from what he had in the past couple of years, but you pair him on the other side of Antonio Brown, and he's not going to be getting double covered, and he could go out there and still make plays. He's shown that he can make plays, and we believe that he can make plays this year. So we're looking forward to him to come over on this side. The Chiefs do a good job kind of resetting every year, so I think that's kind of the worry of the AFC West right now. But the other two teams, we know who they are. We know who Denver is, signing Flacco. So, still, average quarterback at this time. And then we know what the Chargers have. So, I think, right now, the worry about the AFC West will be the Chiefs, man.
I got you. Now, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna give you one more, Ike, because I tell you what, I tell everybody at Raider Nation right here, Ike is going to be joining me for the Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast. We're going to do an in-depth interview with Ike and another special guest. I'm not going to tell everybody who that is. Ike knows who it is, but we'll be doing that later on. Don't tell him. Don't tell him, Ike. Going to be a surprise. Going to be a surprise. Hopefully I can get him out here to open a show as well. But the big thing I want to ask about you, Ike, is you're a linebacker by trade. what do you foresee the Raiders doing with the linebacker core so far? I mean, I like what the kid that they picked up out of Wake Forest a couple years ago that was playing middle linebacker for him. The big guy, name escapes me, 55. And again, I apologize. I'm brain farting his name. I also like the fast gentleman. And I got his glove. I should have a roster with me, but again, there's been a lot going on with the free agency. There's a lot of good things that should be going on with the linebacker. Can we ask you maybe to come back and play another season if we need you?
No, I don't think we need that. I think the coaching staff and the GM, Mike Mayock up there. I think they know what they're doing. On that defensive side of the ball, we're gonna get a couple linebackers. I mean, we already a couple of safeties to help them out. Our linebacker core, they're gonna be fine. I think with the pieces they're putting around them, behind them, and the guys down in front of them in the trenches, they'll be able to go out there and make plays for our defense. We just gotta get the other pieces in there and then see how everything fits together. But I'm not really right now, to be honest with you, worried about our linebacker group.
Well, okay. I tell you what, you are the subject matter expert, so your opinion means very much to me. So if you're saying that we don't need help in the linebacker core, you heard it here first, Raider Nation. Ike said that we are good to go. Okay. But I'm telling you, Ike,
we need some help. We just don't need as much help as every. It's not a reason to panic. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But if not, I'm going to call you up personally, man. I'm going to call you up, and I tell you what, I'm a big boy. I've lost a little bit of weight. I'm not as big as the big behemoths that was playing in front of you were, but I tell you, I will go in there and play some defensive tackle. And you come in behind me, and I'll take on the double teams, and we'll be a good combo. And you talk to Coach Gruden. I'll be there if we need you there. I know that we can count on you, brother.
You can always count on me, of course.
All right, hey, I appreciate you coming on board. I thank you profusely for opening the show for me. When you do your interview, I'll let everybody in Raider Nation know. And I'll tell you what an outstanding Raider Ike is, and I thank you again, sir.
All right. Thank you for having me, and go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Thanks again, sir. I'll definitely be looking. We'll get you that information on when we'll be doing that 2-person show.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks again, Ike. You take care out there, sir.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye, sir.
All right.
That was Ike Ekajuba, and it was great to have him here doing the opening for the Ask Captain Jack show. Great times here, and we had him with us. So again, if you're not watching us on YouTube, you're not getting the best sound quality. Now, I'm going to try to go back and forth between Facebook and YouTube. I'm doing my best here. I'm reading the comments. So I got 2 computers. And I want to thank everybody for coming in. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. Go over to YouTube for a better picture quality. And the phones are open already. Just when Johnny, how you doing there, shipmate? Going on, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Hold on, let me just turn the TV down in the background. Sorry.
No worries. I didn't even get the opening promo out, and you're right on it, brother.
Well, like the show, I was listening to the last interview you had. It's interesting because the linebacker isn't something that I feel we've been lacking big time. But Whitehead and the players that we got, I think I agree with him that if they put some more dynamic pieces around them, it's a Band-Aid to me, but I still think we need to address it with a dog. We need a dog.
We do. Now, what's your opinion of Zach Brown being in Alameda? The guy that spurred us twice is allegedly here in Alameda. I don't know. Obviously, he's not here to do sightseeing of the of shoot. I don't even know of any sites down in Oakland other than Jack London Square. He's not there to go to Jack London. He's not there to go to the seafood restaurant. What do you make of him being there, and what do you think that would be better for what? I mean, he spurned us twice.
Yeah, that's you never know. I mean, now with Mayock in there, Gruden, and that's like whenever I ask about the draft. One thing can shift things so much that I don't know. There's so much. I mean, I thought we had Bell locked up, so I'm not the person to really ask about that stuff.
Well, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Jerry Bell, the great tight end. He is watching on Facebook there. Jerry, welcome to the show as a viewer. And that is another person that Captain Jack will be interviewing later on in the year. I'm going to have Mr. Bell in here with me live in the studio, and that's my honor to have Jerry Bell, the tight end, here in studio. We'll be talking about that as well. Lots of good entertainment here on the Captain Jack channel, both on YouTube. Obviously, go to YouTube. Better sound, better quality video over on YouTube. Jerry, thank you for joining us as well. Getting back to what you were saying there, Johnny, first off, I also want to make sure that everybody knows, and thanks to Johnny. Johnny did some excellent artwork for me that was being pushed on Twitter and Instagram, and I even got some of the copies. He was pushing it on Facebook. Sir, I want to thank you very much for all your hard work on that. I appreciate that a lot better. Thank you. It's so nice to have folks that care about all of Raider Nation. Like you said, giving your best for Raider Nation. I appreciate that.
Oh, there's no problem. I mean, you provide good content, and I just want to, I appreciate everyone in Raider Nation who puts in the work, and I enjoy doing that for people. I mean, I do a lot for other charity organizations, so why not, for a fellow nation? That's what Raider Nation is about.
Thank you there. Now, I tell you what, Mad Cowboy said something. I want your opinion on this as well, Johnny. He says that the Raiders love Kyler Murray, and he asked us if they think we're going to take Kyler Murray. I got my idea on that, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that we just chopped A.J. McCarron, and somebody was saying, well, why did we chop McCarron and not Nate Peterman? I know what I'm going to say about that. I'm going to give you a shout. What do you think about that, Johnny?
I personally, I think that if they were to go and try to get him, it would be some crazy scheme. Like, for example, we were all hating on Chucky and what he was doing, and with the max rate and everything. Well, it looks pretty good now. There's a method to his madness, and I think if we were to do that, it's a reach in my opinion, but I'm not saying Kyler Murray's not talented, but Chucky, there would be a motive behind it where he's going to trade him off or use it for some kind of leverage, I would think. But I mean, it also could be hype. There's always hype not showing the poker hand and trying to get other teams to jump up so that, things fall to us. I think we're personally going to go mostly defensive edge rushers in the first, because at least the first or second in the first round.
Yeah, and you know what? I have about the same opinion. First off, to the gentleman that asked the question, why A.J. McCarron and not Nate Peterman, the simple answer is $5 million. That's the simple answer. That's $5 million of cap space that is needed for another signing. The second reason is this: Peterman is on the practice squad, and his contract does not count as in any portion of the 51. You got to take the X amount of your 51 that are on. They count against the salary cap. Peterman doesn't count diddly against the cap. So cutting McCarron, if you're going to make a move, makes sense. Here's the other thing, okay? And I don't agree with you, Ed Winchell. He says it's clear the Raiders going after Murray. I don't agree with that. I look at it this way, okay? First off, I hope they don't take Drew Lock. G. Mike says they're going to take Lock out of Missouri. I hope not. I think that this is a way for John Gruden to push out to the NFL and Mike Mayock to push out to the NFL that they are allegedly looking for a quarterback at number 4. What that does is this. It drives up the price for the number 4 pick. It makes people scared that the Raiders are going to get a quarterback in number 4. So what it does is this. It makes people want to trade up to 1, 2, or 3, or even 4, our pick, because they think the Raiders are going to take a quarterback at number 4. So if that does happen and somebody trades up ahead of them, okay, that means that one of the big 3, either Quinnen Williams, Nick Bosa, or Josh Allen, falls to 4. That's one thing that'll happen if somebody trades up to 1, 2, or 3. The other thing is that if somebody trades up to 4, then that means the Raiders are going to drop down a little bit for somebody that is looking for somebody in that spot, getting some more picks. And this is a draft where there's a bunch of people that are available, and that the Raiders could use every good pick that they can get. So I think it's a smokescreen. Personally, I think it's a smokescreen. But then again, if they are going after a quarterback at number 4, and God hope that they don't, in my mind, first off, if I was going to take a quarterback, I'd take one next year. And I think that the Raiders are banking on either Peterman, God help us, as a backup, or maybe another quarterback that'll shake loose and that we can sign on the cheap as a backup, because remember, Gruden likes his vets. So I tell you what, if Fitzpatrick gets cut loose and he is a free agent, and we can have him if he's not signed by the Bucs, and I'd have to check to see who, if he's available. I'm sure that the Raiders would look after Ryan Fitzpatrick as their number 2. If you are on Facebook, thank you, but go to YouTube. The sound and the picture and the video is much better and much clearer. Just letting you know. I'm talking to my folks over here. Is there? Go ahead there. What do you think about that, Johnny?
I agree. I think that he's trying to get players to fall. I think now he realizes that he has a shot at Bosa. I'm not saying that I want him. I mean, he's insanely talented. I wouldn't be mad because the guy didn't put numbers. The whole family thing. And I don't think, the injury in the history in the family, the injuries, and I don't know if his heart is really in the game for the game, which Gruden likes, So, but I do think that Chucky needs to fill the rushing position. Obviously, he's very talented. I think you're right. He's trying to get him to fall, and he played. That's the thing. They have a lot of power in this draft, and next year we still have first round picks, from max trade. So I think he's either going to try to, like you said, get one of those to fall and then back out, and then take like Rashawn Gary later on if he's there or something like that. There's for defensive edge rushers and defensive tackles, it's stacked. So I mean, we're gonna get a beast in that first pick no matter what, I think.
Got it. Now I'm gonna have to let everybody know, if you want to knock out Johnny's been on for his 5 minutes. So if you want to knock out Johnny, the number is 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. Not that I don't love talking to you, Johnny, but I got to let people know. So what else you got on your mind, shipmate?
I wanted to ask you about how you feel that we didn't get Bell, and if you think Beast Mode's going to come back.
I'm actually happy that we didn't acquire Le'Veon Bell. I mean, I wanted Le'Veon Bell, but not for the money that he was asking for. I was hearing $15-16 million, and I don't think that that's a good purchase for the Raiders at that money. Okay. Le'Veon is a great back. I mean, the Jets overpaid for him. And I think that You know, it would have been nice, but not at the money he was asking for. Having said that, there will be a running back shake loose from somebody. Okay. In fact, Crowell from the Browns I believe, is a free agent. He's available, and he's a good back to get. Johnny, that's my cue. I got to go get you another call there, partner.
Take it easy, Captain.
All right. Thanks for calling. That was Just Win Johnny. And now we have on Mr. Hotneil. How you doing there, sir?
Pretty good. I'm watching you and YouTube right now.
Good, good. I'm glad you're on YouTube.
And I see your message. I don't see no buttons that you can share your video.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I couldn't find a button I could share your video.
From YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't share on YouTube until I think you can share the link, and that's probably what you're going to have to do. You can share the link, but you can't share YouTube while it's live. That's why you got to basically put out, hey, got to go over and see Captain Jack on the YouTube channel. I appreciate the shares. If you want to share, you can share out the one over at Captain Jack Rackham, which I'm sure you will. And I appreciate that. Okay, so how are you, Hotneil?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm glad we didn't get that guy you just mentioned. I'm pissed off about those names.
What are you pissed off at?
That guy that you were talking about, he was asking $15 or $16 million.
Oh, Le'Veon Bell, yes.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get him.
Well, I mean, hey, you heard it here. Both myself and Hotneil had the same opinion, so we must be correct. That's all that we got to say about that.
Yeah. Also, let me tell you, Mom is getting a little bit better. She's going to the doctor's next week.
Good to hear that.
So, to make it real quick before I go, other people will have a chance to talk. But we are doing something great with the Raiders right now. So, as I say, I see a Super Bowl coming up.
Hotneil, I love you, brother, but a Super Bowl talk is a little premature in March of 2019.
But you got to remember, Chuck is picking up some good players right now.
He is. But I'm telling you this: let the team. Let's see how the team reacts, how they play together this preseason before we start talking. And I'll even say this: before we even start talking title of the AFC West. We're going to be a better team this year, but it takes a while for everybody to gel.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and get used to each other. You know.
That's true.
So, and I think Carr and Antonio, they're gonna have a good relationship. I'm seeing that they're gonna have a good relationship together.
I think so. I mean, Derek Carr and Antonio Brown had a good relationship starting back from when they were in the Pro Bowl together. There's good rapport there. You guys have probably seen the video where Antonio Brown went over to Derek Carr's house already. There's a lot of mutual respect there. You can't fake that, and that's only going to get better. And the guys are going to be enjoying that portion of each other. Then you get Terrell Williams on the other side of him. That is a speedster that could run routes. There's nothing, but I mean, you've gone from having so receivers on the team last year, and that's including Amari Cooper, who was basically didn't even give a crap, to having a tandem that's probably definitely top 10 in the NFL, in my opinion, top 10 in the NFL easy.
And I say it again, and I said it in your show before. Mr. Cooper was Mr. Butterfield. He was just one of the Raiders to lose. That's all. Because you're going to see when he starts playing on the game, you're going to see he's going to be playing better than he was playing in the Raiders.
Okay, what was that, Hotneil? I'm sorry, I had another phone call on my phone. And what was your last comment?
Cooper was making the Raiders lose last year. You're going to see him playing 100% better with the team that he's in.
Okay. Oh, I agree.
Because all he was a freaking final thought, and I want to leave you with take the football coming up. Final thought is we hope we get better referees this year.
Well, Hot Neil, we all want better refs every year, and one of these days, it'll actually happen.
I got mad with the referee, and again, I'm surfing the test for president. I got pissed off with the referee used a stupid ass index card to measure that.
Well, but I got you. But you know what? He wasn't in the league last year. He actually quit. He went to TV last year, and that's Gino Sparator, and he's not or Sterator. He's not even reffing this year. And if you want to talk about a referee, make sure, Hot Neil, that you tune in on the 27th of March, because I'm going to have Jim Tunney, who is a 31-year referee in the NFL. The guy is the only referee to be ref in 2 straight Super Bowls, which they'll never do again. Make sure you're here for that and listen in on that and do some comments there, and I'll make sure that I give Mr. Tunney your questions if you get a chance to log in for that.
Okay, 2 weeks. Okay, all right. I'll come over. But on the 28th, I'm getting out of town.
Okay.
So that is the time to come and see the show, Captain.
Yeah, it'll be a Wednesday night. It'll be a Wednesday night podcast of Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast.
Okay, well, Black Shield what?
Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast. It's on Wednesdays.
Okay. When you have a chance, inbox this to me, because there are that I'm not gonna be happy. We might be a little bit close to you. We're probably more from West Palm to Melbourne, Florida.
Okay.
Up there, so I'll be close to you. I'll be like an hour close to you.
Well, you make sure you take care of yourself and give my best to Mom as well.
I will. And one of the days when I come live on the show again, don't interrupt you. I won't put my mom to say hi to you.
Well, tell Mom I said hi. And hey, thanks for calling in there, Hot Neil. You take care.
No problem. You too, sir. God bless.
God bless. That was Hot Neil Flightis, one of our regulars here on the Captain Jack Show. It's always great to hear from him, and prayers out to him and his mom. I'm monitoring all the things. Yes, Jim Tunney. Wow, your high school principal, Ed. That's great, man. You definitely need to make sure you guys are here for that. Like I said, lots of good programming here. More people to come. I'm efforting to get more people. I've called them up. I got a follow-up, and hopefully I'll get a chance to have more people. But again, next Wednesday, it's Otis Sistrunk on the show for an interview. Otis Sistrunk next Wednesday on the Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast. The Wednesday after that, like I said, Jim Tunney is going to be on. So make sure you're there for that. I'm talking to more people. Obviously, Ike Ekajuba is going to be on with another guest. I won't say who it is, but we're going to do a 2-man show there. It's going to be great. And so we got plenty of people coming up. And I appreciate you guys efforting to get me folks as well. I'll be more than happy to do that. And with the 27th pick, Greedy Williams, according to Mike Guerrera, might not be bad, but I would rather have the kid from Penn State. He's bigger. And Greedy's kind of on the small side, Mike. But, that's just me. Hello to you as well there, Sylvia Marie. Raiders 8 to 10 wins. I can see that, Mike. I can see that. I worked for him when I graduated security guard in Fairfax. Sure, Ed, we'll talk. You got my number. So I'm trying to keep up with your questions and your comments. If I didn't get to them, I apologize. I'm trying to do up from both screens. Like I said, yeah, Matt Cowboy says Bell is a top 3 running back. I agree there, but I tell you what, I think we missed the boat a couple years back. We could have had Nick Chubb. We could have had Alvin Kamara. These are studs that are out of the SEC that I think and I knew were going to be great in the NFL. Sony Michel went to the Patriots, so we weren't able to get him. So there are plenty of good running backs available. Tommy Beard, how are you doing there, shipmate? Good to hear from you, brother.
I'm doing good.
What's the score?
Just got to finish watching the Cats.
Oh, okay. Did they win or what's up?
5-2.
5-2. Well, I'll call that a loss for my Flyers. Loss for my Flyers. I got it. Was it in Philly or was it in Washington?
Philly.
Wow, it was in Philly. Okay. Well, that hey, if you can win in Philly, that's a better win for him. So what do you got for me there, Tommy?
Saturday's the big one for the Capitals.
Well, who are they playing Saturday?
Down your way. Literally in your way.
Oh, okay. They're playing the Lightning then. Yeah, that's right.
That's our first game in Tampa this year.
It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah. But you two, you don't know Jack about sports. But
we'll talk about that on Sunday.
I'm not happy at all with Jordy Nelson being cut.
Okay.
I am not. I thought our wide receiving core was good the way it was.
Okay.
I was hoping to have Brown and Williams and Nelson.
Okay. Now, I agree to a point. But what I see is this: is we don't know how bad the injuries have got to Jordy last year. He came on at the end of the year, but we don't know physically how he's doing up to a point. And he is what I want to say he's about 36. I'm guessing.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I know he's in the mid to high 30s. And he's a great wide receiver, but there's got to be a plan that maybe they're going real young and that they might be trying to get other players as well. I take
Hollywood. I so badly want Marquise Brown.
Well,
I want Hollywood,
and that might be the plan to get him. But I tell you what, whether he lasts until 24, I don't think he will.
I mean, like I told you Sunday, I trade 24 pick up.
They might. They do.
Trade 24 up because every mock draft that I have seen has Brown going. Edwards and Keith, they had him. Well, they had him going to Cleveland.
Right.
They're just getting that going. They're not keeping that going there.
No.
Why would they get him for? And then I've seen him going to Pittsburgh.
Why would Pittsburgh draft Brown when that is asking for trouble? That is asking for trouble. I can't see that. Yeah, I know, but I tell you, if Pittsburgh needs wide receivers so bad, they'll go and get Metcalf, or they'll go and get N'Keal Harry. They'll go and get maybe the kid out of, even though he's probably a second-round grade, the kid that's out of BC that is a good possibility to be our slot receiver this year. I tell you why would they lose out in getting another Brown? That's just asking for trouble in Pittsburgh. I can't see that. I really can't see that.
I don't either. But if you look at, and with what we were talking about on earlier today, I'm hoping to have an answer tomorrow or Saturday.
Okay, don't say anything else. I appreciate that. That'll be a surprise as well.
I'm just saying, if the call comes through.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I will say that Tommy Beard is trying to hook up the old captain with something really cool, and hopefully it'll happen.
I have met this person numerous of times with him being in the area. From the area that is everything.
You got it. Don't say any more, though. Don't say any more.
I don't want Murray. God, I know Ed is all hippity raw. Oh my God, Murray this. Oh my God, let's go get Murray.
No.
I don't want him. I am guaranteeing it. I bet my house. And it's a brand new house that I just bought a year ago. I will bet the house that this dude is a bust.
Okay.
I don't want him.
Wow. People are saying that they lost the YouTube feed. Did you lose the YouTube feed?
You're still on the TV.
Okay, well,
You're pulling up ones that I had you on the TV. I can't, like I said, I can't read the comments, but
I don't know, Jerry White. Most everybody else is good to go on YouTube, so I don't know what's going on here. And like I said, I think it's a smoke screen. I also think that it's the way for the Raiders to move up and around with people knowing, well, where they go after him. I tell you what, I don't want a quarterback this year unless it's the kid out of Duke. That's who I want at quarterback, and I don't want him until the second round at most.
I don't see the Duke kid there in the second round.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if the Washington or somebody else grabs him.
Well, he will go. He will go high. He will go high. By the way, if you want to knock out Tommy Beard, it is available. Tommy Beard can be knocked out. I love talking to Tommy. But the number is 813-699-0834. Go ahead, Shipmate. You're still on.
And I just lost you on the YouTube, on the TV.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to say because I'm still live.
All right, there it is. You popped back up.
Okay.
For some reason, the TV kicked me off.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to get rid of all of the other, what do you call it? Things on my computer here. I can get rid of that.
Pull that up. But, I don't know. I do hope we get a corner.
I actually, like I said, I like the corner from Penn State. He's a big corner. He's not as fast, but he's big, and he's.
I like the kid from Georgia.
Well, and I like him too. He's a little undersized though. I think he's like 5'11". So
I mean, I don't know if Greedy Williams will be there. Supposedly he's the top-rated corner.
Yeah, I don't want Greedy Williams because first off, I am not, and this is not SEC hatred. Just so I look at the kids that are coming out of LSU, and there are two of them that are on the Cleveland Browns right now. Okay, Landry and some guy by the name of Beckham. The people they have all of the ability in the world, but I don't like what's going on upstairs. Okay, I don't like what's going on upstairs, and there's a lot of that with LSU folks. They're just not. They're not. I mean, they're not my favorites. Okay.
I'm giving Key one more year. I'm giving Key next year. I'll give him a slide because Key was a rookie. Yeah,
well, Key actually played well and actually played above my expectations because I was afraid that he wouldn't be with a positive attitude. But I think that the way he played last year with the mentorship that he got from the older players, and that was, the guys, the real old dog like Frosty Rucker and Hankins, McDonald. I think he was in with some with some older guys, and I think that helped him out. I really do. I think that helped him out.
He kept overrunning plays a lot too.
Well, he's going to have to learn maybe not be so damn fast and tone it down just a little bit, and he'll be running into those sacks like he should.
What do you think we do at running back?
Well,
Because there's a lot of reports, and I'm not saying this because he's a Hurricane, and I know his mother, and I actually know this guy.
okay.
But there are I do like him.
Okay. Well, that goes without saying.
There are reports that Cleveland would be willing to trade Duke Johnson.
Okay. Well, Duke Johnson, I actually like.
I would take him. If you on the phone right now, ain't gonna get him.
I tell you, Duke Johnson I like, and again, I'm not just kowtowing to you because he's a Cane. By the way, if you want to knock out Tommy, the number is 813. I'll even look out 813-699-0834. Duke Johnson I like. He has a positive attitude. He wasn't playing over and above. He was a very good football player down at UM. I would take Duke Johnson if he's being dangled. But here's the other thing. Why trade for a running back if Crowell is ready and available and a free agent pickup for basically next to nothing?
I mean, you never know maybe we give up a third. Maybe Cleveland will take a third. Also, we don't even have a third.
I was going to say we don't have a third to get him because we gave up yeah.
Maybe we can get a fourth for him.
Well, if that's true, then that means that we will be giving up 3, 4, and 5. That gives us with nothing in the middle rounds, although we picked up a pick for the Jets, which was a 5th. So we got our 5th back, okay? But this draft is so thick with really great. Okay, let me knock myself down. Great might be an overstatement. Some very strong football players throughout the draft. You can get a really good football player through round 5.
To get Holyfield from Georgia.
Well, he's available. We can draft him.
That's what I said. I wouldn't mind drafting him, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and you know who I want.
Yeah.
You know who I want. And I think
that kid that got suspended half the year, that one year, what was it, his sophomore year?
Yeah, but he came back last year because he said, I owe the Gators and their fans a season. I owe it to them. I like that attitude. He knows he's screwed up, but he came back and he played because he wanted to show, hey, I made a mistake. I'm making a contrition, and I'm making up for it. I like that. That says a lot about Jordan Scarlett to me. It really does.
Only thing that pisses me off is he was committed all that time at Miami. He was all 100. I was this. I have that. I want to be a King. And then we got another commit at running back, and he bounced it.
Well, that
he did what he was scared. He was scared of competition.
Well, you know what? That happens all the time, Tommy. That happens all the time.
Well, I know it does. Trust me.
Uh-huh.
The next shit aggravates me. Man, come in and compete.
I tell you. And who was that? Yeah, Frank Rizzo. I am a little gun shy about LSU for the reason that you were talking about. And yes, it is. By the way, welcome in Mandy and Stacy on Facebook. Please come to YouTube. Please come to YouTube. The sound and the quality is better. Come to YouTube. And Jimmy Beck asks, who thinks Cable should be fired? Hey, I ain't firing Tom Cable yet. I mean, I have no qualms. Actually, I take it back. I have some big qualms, but I'm not in a position to fire him yet. And I'll tell you what.
Do you draft another tackle since we got to pretty much? Because it looks like Brown's going to be the left, and now Miller's going to be the right.
Don't bet on that. Miller might stay over at left, and Brown might go back to right. Although that's a hell of a lot to pay for coin in a right tackle, but it depends upon where they want them. And we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. I wouldn't grab a tackle. I want a guard. If we're going to get an interior lineman, I want a guard and center, guys that can play both. That's what I want, and that's who I would get. I tell you what, Tommy, I'm going to let you go because you've been on a long time, brother. I'm going to try to let somebody else call in, brother, but thank you for calling in.
No problem.
All right. Always good to hear from Tommy Beard. That means somebody's got to call me. 813. Oh, I got to give Angela Hernandez the link. Miss Rofe, I'll give her the link. I will do that after the show for the show for Willie Rofe. I thought I lost YouTube. Okay. Line is open, 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. Stacy, Mandy, come on over to YouTube. It'd be better. We got a line open. Plenty of people should be calling. I see Ruben's here. Mike Merker, Jerry White, G. Mike, the Mad Cowboy. I'd like to hear from you. Oh, here we go. I knew somebody would call. Ed Winchell, how you doing, brother? Good to hear from you there, Ed.
Hey, good to hear from you, Captain. How's it going?
I'm doing well, sir. Talk to me, brother.
Well, I know you've said this in the past, but I wanted to ask you again.
Okay.
Why you and Tommy are both not into Kyle Murray.
Kyle Murray is a standout quarterback. Okay, Tommy hates him in the fact that he thinks he's going to be a bust. I'm not for saying that he's going to be a bust. I'm just very leery of a slight quarterback. And I know that he bulked up a little bit for the measurables for the combine. He bulked up. He got a little bit heavier, and he got a little bit, I guess, I don't know, maybe he had some thick socks on that day to go to 5'10". He's got a really good arm, and he's quick and elusive. But if you look at the quick and elusive quarterbacks, other than Drew Brees, name me one in the modern era, because I know you're going to say Fran Tarkington. I say in the modern era, name me a very slight, svelte, quick quarterback that's made a long career in the NFL. Doug Flutie was a backup journeyman for years.
Right.
Okay?
Right. You're right.
Like I said, Fran Tarkington was in the 60s and 70s. Drew Brees is the aberration. He has been in the league a long time, and he is a standout quarterback, and if he continues to play, will be the all-time quarterback. Like Fran Tarkington was the all-time quarterback when he retired, and then it took a while till Brett Favre and others broke his records. But I tell you, I don't foresee Kyler Murray lasting that long in a career, and I don't want to be the guys that draft him and don't get a lot out of him. Now, if he is drafted by another team and he has a 10-year career, then we can say, well, we screwed up. But I would rather get somebody that has the size and the arm, and that is the Duke quarterback. He has the size, he has the arm, he has the intelligence, and he comes from a pro system. If you're going to get a quarterback this year, get the kid from Duke. I don't want Drew Lock from Missouri, okay? I don't want him. I think he's going to be a stiff in the NFL. And if I'm wrong about Drew Lock, I'm wrong. But Kyler Murray, to me, is a gimmick quarterback, and even with Jackson with the Ravens, okay? Jackson has got all the ability in the world, but I tell you what, he's going to get killed back there, and it's not going to be funny. So I just don't foresee a long career for Kyler Murray. And that, yeah, the kid from Buffalo, Tommy Beard brings up, he's a big kid with a lot of ability. So maybe we get him. Maybe he is one of those hush, hush, shh, we're going to get a quarterback. It's going to be this guy. So we'll see. I would rather this year roll the dice with Derek Carr and a backup, hopefully Ryan Fitzpatrick, or somebody that has been in the league a while that can come in and pick it up. But here's the other thing. EJ Manuel signed with the Chiefs, so the Chiefs have their starting quarterback, Chad Henne and EJ Manuel. They're not carrying three quarterbacks. One of those two are going to be let go, and that would be a quarterback we can pick right up, and it's getting from the Chiefs. We got intelligence from the Chiefs already. So we can do that. And like I said, you can roll with Nate Peterman if you really want to be diabolical.
Right.
But again, AJ McCarron, the 5 million reasons why he was cut was why would you give him $5 million? So we'll have to go.
No, you can't do that. But I believe, the way Kansas City is thinking, and I don't want any, please, alignments with Kansas City because I'm a Raider fan. And that would be the number one thing not to be. There's an alignment with Kansas City. But keep in mind that if you go back a couple years to the Niners, they had two great quarterbacks, Alex Smith, and then they had, what's his name, the other guy that's sitting all this time, Colin. They had Colin and Alex Smith.
Right.
Now, I think any smart team, although if you're Belichick, this really doesn't hold true, but any smart team these days needs two phenomenal quarterbacks. You see, one of your guests said something about, the Raiders mishap in 17 when he broke his ankle or whatever.
Right.
That blew as we all know, that blew our season, that blew our year, basically. But the Raiders, I don't think, will ever let that happen. That's the way Gruden. Remember, Gruden's an offensive guru.
Right, but here's the thing. I agree, but don't agree in this. You use the word phenomenal. I don't agree with that word. You need a standout. You need a standout starting quarterback like the Carr was in 16 prior to his leg getting broken. Okay,
right.
But you need somebody that is capable and is plug and play. And I liked EJ Manuel for that. EJ Manuel to me was plug and play. And there were games that he came in when we were in Denver, when Carr got hurt with his back, that we should have won that game. And Cook dropped not one, but two touchdown passes because EJ Manuel was plug and play. And I'm not a big EJ Manuel fan, but I'm just saying you need a quarterback that can come in that is, without even any warm-ups, go in and win a game for you, like George Blanda used to do it in the 70s, okay? Like Don Strock used to do for the Dolphins. You need that. That's what you need. And if you have somebody that's available, plug and play, that's what you need in a backup quarterback. So we'll see what happens. And
You think he's going to try to get a quarterback in the draft or a free agent with the situation as it is today with one quarterback in Raiderville?
Well, I tell you, I think that if he's going to draft a quarterback, I'm hoping he doesn't draft one high unless it's that kid from Duke. And maybe with the
Duke deserves number 4.
Well, no. I'm not talking high. I'm talking like maybe at the end of the first round with one of those end of the first round picks, if the price gets driven up, and I think it might. Okay. Here's the thing. If you're maybe that the kid from Buffalo, like I said, might be a third round pick. And I know we don't have a third round pick, but I think we can trade back some picks and pick up a third. And we get a third round pick. Maybe we can get the kid from Buffalo if you're going to draft a quarterback as a project. Okay.
Right.
So you can always trade back with these picks and get that third round pick back. And by the way, in answering your question there, Tim Farrow, Seth Roberts is here. I don't know why. But right now, you're definitely not going to get rid of him now because at least he's a better option than cutting him to save money. We got to see what's going on. Is Saeed Blacknell the answer to replace Seth Roberts? If he isn't, Seth will be gone. But we'll see. But in answer to your question there, Ed, like I said, we'll see what happens. But I'm rolling the dice with Carr and a quarterback to be determined. That's just me.
Tell me, what do you think of ESPN reporting that the Raiders are going to trade up in the draft? And what they're saying is they're saying the Raiders want to draft up to number 1 and try to take Murray. Is there any validity to that in your thinking process?
In my thinking process, no, but I've been wrong once or twice.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. This.
In my thinking, if I'm the Raiders, okay, I'm sitting at 4. It's not top 3 like you want because sitting at number 3, you're either going to get Boza, Quinnen Williams, or Josh Allen. You're guaranteed a defensive standout at number 3. Okay. I can't see the Raiders trading up for Murray. I can't do it unless, and here's the unless there is a deal in the works. And God help you if this blows up in your face. Unless there's a deal in the works, like when San Diego drafted Eli Manning. And there was a taker though, and they ended up swapping him to the Giants for Phillip Rivers, and the rest is history. Unless there is a deal in place that we don't know about, that is the only reason why I can see us drafting Murray. Because if you use the number 1 pick for Murray, why?
Well, it all depends on what team is number 1 and what the needs are of that particular team.
Well, right now the Cardinals are number 1.
Right.
So the Cardinals need a quarterback. They're not getting any takers for Josh Rosen so far.
Yeah, but then again, it goes down to what you just said makes a lot of sense. Do these hotshot quarterbacks want to go to Arizona? You're going to see a lot of that, like you mentioned. I don't think they do.
No.
And who's ahead of us again? Arizona and the Jets?
Arizona, the Jets, and the Niners.
All right. The Niners are the biggest team of those 3 in my mind.
Right.
Who wants to go to the Jets or to Arizona?
Well, the Jets don't.
Your career off going nowhere.
Oh, the Jets aren't grabbing a quarterback because they're very happy with Sam Darnold. Okay. The Cardinals are not happy with Rosen. Okay. And the Niners got Garoppolo for better or for worse.
Right.
The only team there that could possibly get Murray is with the number 1 pick, and that's Arizona. And if they go after him, hey, power to them. Because that means, in my mind, I'm getting Josh Allen or Quinnen Williams. That's what that means to me. Just like when the Jaguars drafted Bortles, it let either Sammy Watkins or some guy by the name of Khalil Mack dropped right into our laps. Well, Watkins went to Buffalo the pick before. We ended up getting Mack. Okay, yeah, I for purposes of this conversation, I'm not saying 50 who. Things happen.
No. Do you realize that none of this, AB, all these other signings could have gone down and kept Khalil there?
No, I mean, none of these people would be here if a certain high-priced linebacker was still here. And by the way, the Bears are already trying to knock his salary down.
In half.
Yeah.
I know that. But, I think, and I'll leave you with this one question. Do you think we'll ever get rid of Tom Cable? He was useless as a Raider coach, but just no worse. I don't understand the genius of Gruden not seeing Cable for what he is.
Yeah.
He's a benefit. God love him and everything, but I just don't think he has the potential to take us into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I sent a comment to you that I think in 19 the Raiders are looking for not Super Bowl, but the playoffs.
I agree with I agree with the playoffs. And Ed, I'm going to let you go, brother, to open up the line. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Take care, buddy.
Okay, that's Ed Winchell, one of our regulars as well. I'm going to answer your question, Ed. I'd rather somebody else be at the offensive line coach, but I'm not making the decisions in Oakland. Okay. I would like to have, if I had my druthers, I'd do something. I'd give you know what? I would trade the number 4 to the Patriots for Dante Scarnecchia. That's what I would do. I'm being facetious. But what I'm saying is Dante Scarnecchia as their offensive line coach is fantastic. Tom Cable recently, his line has been the worst in the NFL, I think, for 3 straight years. 2 in Seattle and 1 last year in Oakland. And I like Tom Cable personally. He's fiery. He's entertaining. But I don't want a fiery, entertaining offensive line coach if the line sucks. My opinion. Mike Merker says that he's got this year to prove. I agree. And I think he will be gone if things don't happen well for the Raiders. I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you. But that's not doing said. Somebody call Dante on the phone and see if he wants to go to Vegas. I'm sure Dante Scarnecchia probably has some friends in Vegas. Mike Sensabaugh, how you doing, brother? Mike Sensabaugh, go to YouTube. Everybody that's over there on Facebook, please go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. It's better. Better picture, better quality. Subscribe, please. And by the way, Mike, you can call in tonight, but definitely call in on Sunday where we talk everybody, all the shows, all the people. I want to hear, Mike, about your Dolphins. John Shalor, thanks for calling in. It is better. Hey, I know who Raider Man 81 is. Thanks for coming over, Lane. Appreciate it, brother. I wish we were better in the offensive line, but I can't. Who was our line? Oh, Tice. We had a great line in 2016. I had to figure out who the hell our line coach was. It was Meathead. Hey, Willie. How you doing there, brother? Line is open, 813-699-0834. Call in. Oh, thanks, John. Thank you. John Shalor listened to the interview with Willie Rofe. I got a message from his wife that she needs the link so she can listen to it. So I'll be able to send that to her. But thank you. Like I said, that is the podcast, and when I get a chance to do them live, the webcast, Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast /webcast. Thank you for joining in. Got some Raiders coming on board, and Jim Tunney, the NFL official. Seattle actually did worse last year. Actually, wow. I thought they had improved, though. I thought they improved. I could be wrong, but I thought they improved. Mike Sensabaugh, I said, go to YouTube. Oh, a quick hi. Okay, go to YouTube. Call in on Sunday too. Say hi. Say hi to your wife. Line is open. 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. Everybody is talking about the free agent acquisitions that we've made. By the way, we're an hour, 10 minutes into the show. So we got people that can call. We got time. The free agent acquisitions, obviously Antonio Brown, the biggest. Okay, fantastic. Trent Brown at offensive tackle, whether it's wide or left, probably left. Great pickup. People said we overpaid for him, but here's the thing. When a left tackle is on the market, they don't stay on the market long. The reason why he was on the market was because the guy that the Patriots picked that last year, the rookie out of Georgia, who is their left tackle of the future, was injured. So they needed the left tackle. They got Brown. Brown played well, and they turn around and he gets a big contract. He did well. I mean, he held Joey Bosa without a sack in the game. He whooped him in the playoff game. It's a big signing. Yeah, I know he came over from New England. Actually, that's 2 years in a row that the left tackle from New England in the offseason gets the highest offseason contract for a left tackle. 2 years in a row, New England left tackle. Nate Solder, now Trent Brown. Line is open, 813-699-0834. People are poo-pooing the Terrell Williams signing. I think that is a fantastic signing. He got a good contract, and this was a win-win in the fact that it takes a very capable receiver who's got speed and can run routes and goes up and high points the ball, is very aggressive about what he does. He's aggressive getting to the ball. Now, he was expendable down in Los Angeles. I didn't say San Diego. He was expendable down in Los Angeles. Why? Because Mike Williams was coming into his own. And if they can get Keenan Allen to actually play through a season without getting hurt, they got two good receivers down there. But I'll tell you what, I'll take Antonio Brown and Terrell Williams over there too. Obviously. We need a tight end. And I don't think Cook is the man. He was last year, but I would rather get a new tight end in the draft. There you go. Frank Rizzo says it. He knows about Dante Scarnecchia. His guys are awesome. Terrell Williams, deep speed and can catch the ball. And unlike Martavis Bryant, 2 points about unlike Martavis Bryant. First off, he's not a drug threat like Bryant was. And second of all, Martavis Bryant, and I was what do you call it? I was saying good things about Martavis Bryant last year, but my buddy who is a Stiller fan, actually calling him a buddy is a bit of a reach. The person that I worked with that was a Stiller fan was saying, all Martavis Bryant can do is run a 9 pattern. It's about all I saw him do with the Raiders. So he was right there. It was a waste of a third-round pick. And by the way, isn't it great that this year we get the better of Pittsburgh in our trades? Because they raped us last year. Okay. I agree. Ruben said it. The pick we get from Dallas, get a tight end. One of the Iowa tight ends, Fant, or the other guys, I can't remember. The 2 tight ends out of Iowa are going to be fantastic. I'd love to get one of them. I wouldn't mind getting Marquise Brown as well. But if it came down to it, I'd take a tight end. Line is open 813-699-0834. And then we have the signing at safety of LaMarcus Joyner. Now, got some good coin. LaMarcus is a safety. He's undersized, but he was there. The franchise tagged from the Rams. He plays corner. He plays safety. He's fast. He can stick with a receiver, can hit. So we definitely got two small, ferocious safeties back there with Joseph and Joyner. But Joyner's going to be playing a lot of nickel corner for us. In the fact that a lot of teams do their three wides. So having him there as one of our corners, it doesn't matter if he's the number 2 or the number 3 corner. Whoever can keep on the receiver is going to be needed. I think that Harris, who he re-signed, big re-signing, is going to be the safety that takes on the bigger tight ends. We need some of that. Because if we don't have a safety do it, that means we have to have a linebacker that can actually cover. And right now, we don't have that linebacker that can cover. The kid that was speed, that was a rookie, was it last year or the year before that? I got his glove in the Miami game. Can't remember his name. Bit on the undersized, but he could cover. Cowser is still listed as a linebacker, but Sunshine's really a stand-up end. Lee is I like what Lee can do, and that was the guy I was trying to remember, John, when we did the opening. I couldn't remember his name. Lee from Wake Forest is going to be, is getting better and better. But I don't think he's not a cover linebacker. He's a thumper. He's a good middle linebacker. So Lee, I would like to institute as that middle linebacker. I think he's going to be there. And Neil says, Joyner is multiple. In fact, I think he's going to sell hot dogs when the hot dog vendors need a break in between doing all the things. That's how multiple he is. And I'll help him sell hot dogs. Well, actually, I'll probably eat all the profits anyway. 813-699-0834. It is time to call in. And I definitely like that comment by Frank. If you're watching on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. Haven't heard much about, what's this? Our new safety, Marcus Joyner, has him in the mid-70s as far as acquisition. And, yeah, you do like Eric Harris. If you're watching on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. It's better picture, better sound. And please subscribe, because that's where all my good shows are going to be this year. Thank you. Somebody called in. Doc. Good to hear from you, Doc. How you doing? What's going on, big man?
Oh, lovely so far what we're doing in free agency.
Okay, good.
I think some people were forgetting that we did sign Good. We got him late last year.
Yep.
So I think him and Gabe Jackson will be our guard.
Right now, yes, it's looking. He is probably the starting guard. Stacy, thank you for coming over here. Go ahead, Doc.
And I think Miller and of course Brown will be our tackles. With that, I think they'll be determined on how well they gel, and I think they'll be determined what goes on the training camp. And if they say you don't win championship in March, you win it in what you do in training camp. So I think it's going to be a little bit more competition, because we also got Parker for a little bit.
Yeah, and Parker's the swing tackle. Feliciano signed with the Lions.
And which, I wish him well. I hope he gets a chance to start somewhere. But what I think we really need on the line, more than the tight end, because we do still got Waller, we got Carrier, and we got Lee. if we don't re-sign Cook, because he hasn't signed nowhere yet.
No. And to be
I think we need.
to be
To play guard and center. That's what we need.
well, right now Rodney is our stalwart center. What I'm worried about is Rodney played hurt a lot last year, and still he played every game. What I'm worried about is with Rodney getting hurt and can't play. And at least we knew last year Feliciano was that guy. So here's the thing. If Good is like the swing guard center and can play center, so be it. You know you don't want the long snapper playing center. We found out how much of a disaster that was when we lost our center in our San Diego game when at the first Monday nighter in 2012, and we had whatever. That's just not happening.
Yeah, that was not very good.
Yeah. Oh, Tommy. I'm sorry. It was Buffalo. You saw. I thought it was Detroit. It was Buffalo. But the point is we need a center that is capable. If that's good, then that's great, with pun intended. But I think Good's going to play guard with Jackson. But I still want to make sure that there is a swing center guard that comes in that is capable, because if Good is that guy, then somebody's going to have to replace Good if Good flies over to center. So we still need a center, which is why if we want a lineman in the draft, I'm thinking we're going to draft a guard, because will Brandon Parker be able to play guard and tackle? Maybe. I mean, he needed help last year at tackle, but if Parker is the backup, that could go in on those positions, then Good. No pun intended. So we'll see. But yeah, what else did you have for me, Doc?
Well, I also got a couple wide receivers that I wouldn't mind. Maybe we could pick up in the draft still.
Yeah, there's plenty out there.
Randall Cobb. He's only 28. And it's hard to believe he's only 20, but he's only 28 years old, so he's not really old. And he's a free agent. Dude, the Green Bay Packers have the money to re-sign him.
Right.
Well, is there a possibility? That's why we get rid of Jordy Nelson to free up for him to get.
It's possible, but it's possible, but it depends on how much they want. Because I don't think that Gruden is going to want to spend another big contract on a wide receiver when they spent so much for AB and TW.
Oh, I agree. They don't want to spend a lot of money for this. This is probably wide receivers that you might get for a decent price.
But, if you're going to do that, this is what I want. I want that kid, Andy What's-His-Nose from Boston College, as the slot receiver in the draft. And I think that he's going to be available either with one of the picks in the 20s or possibly the number 2 pick, because I don't think he's going to last beyond our pick in the second round. And I can't remember his name. I know his first name is Andy. And he's what would be like a fantastic slot receiver. And the thing is that I don't know whether he gets past New England in the first round, because I think New England with pick 32, they're going to take him. So
I think New England would go after Isabella before they would him.
Well, that's the guy, Andy Isabella. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, same guy.
Same guy. Yeah. No, he played for BC.
Sure, I thought he was a UMass guy.
I'm almost positive he's Boston College. Check on that, but I think he's Boston College.
Same part of the country.
You got it. Yeah. But Matt Isabella.
And he's working with Randy Moss right now in the off time, working on his routes and everything else. And he's a really dedicated football player. And I think because I don't think he'll make it past 32. No,
if he's on the board at 32, he won't be on the board at 33.
And our next pick is 35. So we missed him if we don't get it.
Right. And that's why I think but here's the thing, and we might have to trade back into the first round with our second round pick, because I think that they're going to go after Fant or and I can't remember the other kid that's out of Iowa. The other one, I think the other guy, Fant's faster, but the other guy, what's his name, like Hawkinson or something like that? I can't remember. It's Hawkinson, I think. And yes, Israel, I definitely remember you there, brother. I definitely remember you. Fant's quicker, but I think that they like Hawkinson better. So that's going to be one of their picks if he's on the board, okay? They probably want Isabella, but it depends if he's going to be there. And then, what else you got? Now, if you're at 4, who's going to be there? And like I said, God forbid, I don't want Kyler Murray. I'm sorry. If anything, I want somebody to trade up for us. I want us to drop back, maybe still in the top 10. Yeah, I want us to drop back in the top 10, pick up another second, and maybe even a first next year. And that's when you can get somebody like maybe Montez Sweat, who I really like a lot. I liked Polite, but I didn't like what he did in the combine. Now, I liked everything he did as a gamer for the University of Florida. Yes, I'm showing some bias here. I don't know whether he's going to be able to do that in the NFL. So we'll see. But I like Montez Sweat.
I would like to trade with the Giants. If we're going to trade with somebody, I would like to trade with the Giants.
Well,
so now the Giants have 2 first-round picks.
Right. But hopefully they'll do it. We'll see.
And the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're at 6.
Yeah, they're at 6 because the Bucs are at 5.
4 to 6, and we can still get somebody good like a Devin White, a 4 or 5 linebacker, or there's all kinds of defensive players this year. And here's another player that I liked early on, but then he started to fall from grace. I still think he could be a good ball player, and he may even be around 24 the way he's fallen. It's Ed Oliver.
Yeah, that might not be a bad pick if he's still there. Ed's a huge guy. In fact, I remember watching the big pictures that they had like the year is either junior or senior year, and he's a great. He would be a great pickup there, but like I said, it depends on how far back we drop. I like Oliver, but I kind of think I might want either Montez Sweat or Clelin Ferrell, depending upon where they drop. And the other guy, the other Clemson kid, I can't remember his name, not Ferrell, but the other guy would be a good pickup as well if he's still on the board. The 2 or 3.
Beast, I don't think he's got that far.
Who?
He's really impressed. Sweat is really he's a monster. He's a beast.
Yeah.
He really showed out on the Senior Bowl, and did you see that 40 times? Boy, oh my goodness.
Well, he ran like what? He ran like what, a 4.5 or something?
No, 4.4.
4.4. Wow, that's even better. And thanks, Neil, getting everybody over. Oh, okay. Yeah, according to Steve Frank, he played at UMass, according to Steve Frank, so you're right.
You're right.
Okay.
I'm also on a small school, so I think a lot of people underrate that. And I follow UMass, but same part of the country, it don't matter.
Yeah.
We knew what we were talking about.
We knew who you were talking. We were talking about the kid from New England that is going to be a very good receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, he's an excellent route runner. Excellent route runner. And I tell you, I don't see him getting past New England if he goes that far down.
Right. I don't think so either. I gotta turn this fan off. I'm getting some of that. When I had the fan on up top, it would get in my eye, and I'm getting the same thing here. So apologies here. I don't want to rub my eyes out. Stacy, please don't look.
And Pittsburgh's famous for picking people up like that.
Yeah.
So he might not fall back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. There you go. Tommy got it. We got to get somebody. And like I said, I would much rather trade back from 4 if Josh Allen is gone, if Quinnen Williams is gone, and I'm sure that Nick Bosa will be gone. And I don't want Nick Bosa at 4. I really don't. I think
I don't want Nick Bosa at all. I think he's manufactured.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Stacy.
To take that long to heal when he went out that early in the season. Oh, I gotta get ready for the NFL draft. That put up question marks all over for me.
Right.
So how bad was that injury?
No, I mean, and that showed me a lot. With Ohio State, I don't like as a whole. I don't like Ohio State Buckeyes. I don't like them anyway, but I don't like their attitude. I don't like what they're doing up there in shoot, I'm forgetting where the hell what the city is. It doesn't matter. I don't like them.
Ann Arbor.
Nope. That's Michigan.
Not Ann Arbor.
That's
Michigan.
That's Michigan. Okay. Yeah, the other place, Columbus. There you go. I don't like what's going on in Columbus. So, and I agree with Ruben. I think I just don't. I don't want Nick Bosa.
And now that you mentioned Ruben, I got a question because he would probably know the answer. When we're doing the negotiating this year for the Oakland Coliseum, I thought I heard somewhere that not only are we negotiating for 19, but in this contract, we're negotiating for an option for 20 just in case the stadium is late.
Yeah, that's in the contract. That is true.
Oh, that is true.
That is true.
I figured you would know, and if you didn't, I know Ruben would. I know he's up on that.
Yep, that is true. Just in case something goes down, that is true. Yeah, by the way, Frank, Zach Brown was seen in Alameda, so maybe that will be a signing. I mentioned that. He spurned us twice. Will the third time be the charm? And yeah, Ruben says option is on the table for 2020, so there you go. And Jimmy Beck's Buckeyes fan, but he hates Bosa. So there you go. Even Buckeyes fans don't like Nick Bosa. Thank you there, Jimmy Beck. Good to hear that.
Well, I know you like that quarterback from Duke, but being a big ACC fan, and going to a lot of the ACC games, and especially in Virginia and North Carolina, whenever possible on Saturdays. I am not sold on that dude from North Carolina.
Okay.
And I tell you, I think there's some stuff they're hiding on him, and I think it's going to come out right around draft time that the Raiders will not want to touch. I don't want to say it because I'm just going from what I've heard when I'm at the stadiums from Duke fans. And I don't know if it's rumor or true.
Okay, I tell you what, Doc.
It's of a nature that Raiders wouldn't want it if it's true.
Right. Here's. I tell you what, Doc. Do me a favor. Get with me offline so I know what you're talking about. I'm not going to say anything because I keep secrets for a living, but I'd like to hear what you're saying. And I tell you what, Doc's been on for 15, so I tell you what, I want to hear from Stacy Medeiros. I definitely want to hear from Stacy.
I need to turn off here.
Hello? Doc, did I lose you? Doc. Oh, hell. Doc, if you can hear me, I can't hear you because you must have faded out. So that was Doc Burdett. And the line is open, and I apologize. I hate it when my eyes water when I'm doing a broadcast. And it's almost always the right eye, too. Line is open, 813-699-0834. We've been on for 90 minutes. And I'm having a good time. Yeah, John Shallor, You can call. Stacy Medeiros, I definitely want to hear from you. Ruben, I know you're going to call pretty soon. Yo, come on, Stacy. You're plenty smart. In fact, I want to hear from you just to hear what you think, how you've enjoyed listening in the offseason, what you think about what's going on this year. You can call. John Shalor, I know you can call too. I love my Raiderettes. I do. Just like the old hashtag, I think it was Neil. Was it Neil Backman that gave it to me? Love my wenches. Love my wenches, love my Raiderettes. That's for true. Line is open, 813-699-0834. I'm going to put my hand right here until my eye stops friggin' watering. I'm going back and forth. I apologize. This is not a good look for me. But when I get the eye migraines, and that's what this is, it's an eye migraine. Your eyes just uncontrollably stops or waters. Playing in the most expensive stadium in the world. Okay. Ruben, you can call. Stacy, I'd love to hear from you. What do we got over here? Either meeting today or tomorrow is my understanding. Yeah, Zach Brown. Yep, that's true. That's true. That's from Steve Frank. Thanks, Steve. Wow, I don't like dead air. I don't like dead air. Lots going on. Give me a call. John Shalor, Stacy Medeiros, Ruben Fellier. Who else is on here? Matt Marinovich, one of these days, I'll love to have you call, brother. Tommy, I've already heard from. Neil, you can call. Jimmy Beck, hopefully still on here. Valerie was on here at the beginning of the show. Hopefully she's still here. I knew somebody was gonna come through. Ruben, how you doing there, brother? What's going on?
Good, Captain Jack.
Good to hear from you.
Let me lower this down. I'm on the phone with you, and then I got the other phone going so I can see the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, that option is still on the table. I don't think this stadium is going to be built. I think the Raiders will be there to 2020, but you never know what mark. With the city of Oakland, with the lawsuit and everything still going, I think at some point they're going to have to drop it. I think that's what is going to happen. And who knows, maybe they won't.
You think the Raiders are going to be playing in Oakland in 2020?
Do I think we're still be there? Maybe. I mean, he wanted to get out of Dodge faster than you could shake a stick at, but I kind of knew he was going to end up being stuck there, especially when he didn't make the move down to San Diego, because where else were he going to take the team at? And then you got to factor in the cost of moving the team.
Well,
like he has a shitload of money, even though he borrowed all that money from B of A, because he don't.
Well, I honestly think for first two things. I think that stadium will be built by 2020. I mean, unless some bad things happen. What?
I said if it is, it'll be good for him because then he won't have to be in Oakland because damn well he wants to try to get out of there as soon as he can.
Right.
And what is available at the time, it's a different story.
Right. I think that extra add-on is just for cosmetic appearances. But if it comes to fruition, now wait a second. It's because something that was something unforeseen happened in Vegas. But remember, the NFL draft is going to be in Vegas in 2020.
Yeah, I know.
So the stadium, for all intents and purposes, it might not have all of the bells and whistles, but for them to hold the draft in Las Vegas in 2020 at that stadium means to me that is going to be done without an issue. So I really think that there shouldn't be a problem with.
Well, they're working around the clock on the stadium. Damn well they're trying to get it finished because the NFL can't just wait to have a team there representing the NFL in Vegas.
Right.
And out of all teams, we just had to be the lucky one to move there, which I hope it is turning out to be what it's supposed to end up being. Not what we moved, but I don't know. I don't agree with some of the Like what I saw in the comments, everybody has their opinion, but from a business point of view, he put himself in debt. He shouldn't have took all that money. I can see why he did it, but he puts him in a bad position to lose the team. And I might be wrong down the line, but if he ends up losing the team, then I was right all along because it's too much money. And the interest that is attached to that loan is ridiculous. It just doesn't make sense. If you did the numbers, it doesn't make sense. But, hey, he's done what he's done, so if it doesn't work out, the worst thing I guess is going to happen to him is, buddy, you're out of here.
Yeah.
The NFL's going to get what they want, the other owners, and they get them out and they push them out that way. This is why we're heading to Vegas. You know, you don't see nobody else doing this if it's such a great idea. They got Mark doing it, right? Just like he volunteered the international games when he didn't have to do that. He took the home game from the.
No, wait a second, Ruben. It is part of the I don't want to say contract, but it is part of the understanding that when you leave your stadium, okay, when you leave your stadium, you are guaranteed that you have to go to an international game. It's in the language that's in the NFL.
Yeah, but I looked it up and he volunteered. He didn't have to be. We didn't have to be the team that did the international game. And if he did it, why didn't he do a away game, not a home game? He took that away from the fans instead of getting 8 games.
Ruben, look it back up. There's language in the NFL. I don't want to say it's in the contract, but there is language within the NFL that states when a team moves, they automatically give up one of their home games. Why? Because they're moving anyway. That's why it's one of their home games. That's the point in moving. In the fact, say, okay, you're moving, so obviously there's some issues there. We're taking one of your home games away until you're moved to your next location. That's what I'm saying. It's not that he can give up if you're going to give up a game, he's not going to give up an away game because that's not the way the language of the, I'll say agreement. It's not a contract. Okay. There you go. Mike Merker said.
The rules say that any team in the process of relocating must host an international series game.
There you go. Yep. Mike Merker said it.
Yeah. I take Michael's word for it because I've read some things. That's why I read more than one article from different things because like this thing with Bell, like I'm glad the Jets got him. You know how much money we would have had to throw at him?
Yeah, and that's not a good use of money. I'm glad that we were going to hold out for something else.
You gave money to AD. You gave money to Williams. We gave money to the guy Brown that came over from New England. We still got a couple more pieces that we have to do. You know, hopefully it works itself out on the draft. We hit on every single one. I mean, come on, how many picks we got? We have to get at least 2, maybe 3, if they do their homework and they do it right. You know, the thing with Bell, I'm so glad they put this baby to rest. There were so many people out there that were like, oh, it's a done deal. I'm like, no, it's a rumor. I did an engine search on the internet like you wouldn't believe, Captain. I couldn't find a damn thing that said, oh, he's coming to the Raiders. When I couldn't find that, I was like, you know what? They might say that they're in discussion, but he ain't coming here. And when I saw the Jets posted that, you know, or when he posted that he was going to the Jets, I was like, good. And then when I saw the contract, man, he would have broke the piggy bank.
Yeah, according to Tommy, what's the source on that? He said Tommy says that we offered Bell 3 years and $55 million. That boy, I'm glad he's not with the Raiders.
Yeah, that was somewhere around there. I saw something about that too. Because they did a 4-year deal, I think, with them with the Jets.
Yeah, they did a 4-year, and I think it was like guaranteed 26 or something.
No, it was guaranteed 35, and the deal's worth like $61 million. What the Steelers were posting because they said something about they offered him a deal similar to that, but it's actually the deal he got with the Jets like $1 million less. I mean, that goes to show you that the guy really didn't want to be in Pittsburgh.
No, he didn't want to be in Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown didn't want to be in Pittsburgh. And by the way, Schuster doesn't want to be in Pittsburgh. He's just not saying anything yet because he still has to play there. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we'll get the best use out of him. I think we'll get a good back. I mean, we're going to get a good running back, whether it's going to be Marshawn. I don't think it will be. I think, if anything, I think that probably Doug Martin's going to be the one that comes back. That's just I kind of feel that.
You think they're going to get a running back in the draft?
Yeah, I think that they're going to pick up a running back in the draft. Like I said, I want Jordan Scarlett. Tommy wants the kid out of Miami, not Duke Johnson, the one that's actually in Miami right now. They're going to get a running back in the draft.
No, we got 2 receivers. I want them to go after a tight end.
Yeah,
to complete
right
the attack on the offense.
Right,
I use one of those picks and get a good tight end.
Yeah, and it's gonna in my mind it's gonna be Hawkinson or Fant out of Iowa because they're both out of Iowa, and I think we're going to get one of them.
Yeah, I just hope whoever we go after, man, we need to stay away from players that are injury prone. We've done that so many years, so many drafts over the years.
Well,
we waste a pick and the guy's already hurt.
Well, Reggie's not drafting anymore. Reggie was always good. Reggie was always good for picking up a first rounder that has great potential that was at some injuries, and a second rounder that was full of potential and was raw. That's not happening anymore. We got Mike Mayock, and he is a personnel guy. And, you know, I agree with that. They're going to be a lot better in drafting. And I'm not giving a lot of hate to Reggie because here's the thing. I don't like the way Reggie drafted. I'll say that right now. Reggie's only great draft. Reggie's only
2 of them, and we only kept one, and the other one went to Chicago.
Right. Reggie's only good draft was that year that you're talking about with our current quarterback and 50 Who. And that's because 50 Who dropped in his lap. The other thing, but I will say this about Reggie, okay? Reggie was dealt a bad hand, and he cleaned up the house. He cleaned up the house.
Say that. You took the words right out of my mouth, Captain.
He did. He cleaned up the house, and he did clean house. He got us away from cap hell, and he gave Mike Mayock, the current situation he's in, about $70 million in cap room and a bunch of picks. Okay?
A whole lot of picks.
So there you go. So in that respect, he did his job. It's kind of like, and I know that a lot of people don't follow it, but the people that follow hockey will get this point. The Flyers are a better team this year, but they had a general manager that didn't do so well in the past, and he fired the general manager, and this new guy came in, and they're doing a lot better because the new guy instituted a lot of the changes in what the old guy had as far as he had in the minors. He brought up the guys to play, and they gave him good room in cap. Same thing. Mike Mayock is benefiting from what Reggie did before him. Now, the thing is with Mayock is he's going to pick a hell of a lot better in my mind. He can't pick any worse. He can't pick any worse.
I mean, I think they already got a plan of who's going to be the backup quarterback.
I'm sure they do.
They're going to come in free agency. I don't think they're going to pick somebody in the draft, and this is the reason why. I think they're going to use those picks for something else other than a back quarterback. I think they got rid of AJ. They saved $5 million.
Yeah.
Zero dead weight money or whatever.
Yeah, zero dead money.
You don't do that unless you already got somebody in mind. You already been on the phone talking to somebody. Now the Raiders are not going to come out and say, okay, we already got somebody. They'll announce that when they know the deal is already done. You know, they're over here making moves and getting picks just like the way they acquire AV. Because why? If other teams knew what we were doing, they'd probably go after that guy too.
Right.
You know, and you don't do that. I mean, they need to acquire somebody. I forgot who was it. I think it was Michael who said something about it. We always had 2 quarterbacks on the roster and then one on the practice squad.
Yep.
Because they've always done that.
Yeah.
It's smart to do.
Yeah. And right now they got the practice squad guy in Peterman. And by the way, Jared, first off, go to YouTube. Excuse me. Sorry about that sneeze. Go to YouTube, Jared. Second of all, call in. You can call in because you can knock out my boy. And not that I don't like talking to Ruben, but you know he's been on. But yeah, they got a plan. They wouldn't have a plan, just like the old line in Clear and Present Danger. You know, Rusky doesn't go to the bathroom without having a plan. Doesn't take a dump without having a plan. I think the Raiders have a plan for what is going to be going on at backup quarterback. Okay.
So yeah, when I saw the headline one day, my phone went off and it let me know they got rid of him. I was like, Gruden's already on the phone. He's already been thinking about who's going to be a backup. He wouldn't have made this move and did this without them, because you can't let the guy go. You let him go, okay, now who's the backup? You got to have somebody in mind. And then the other thing I'm thinking, because, we get all these weapons now, right? And I said this before, and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter who we get, because if they can't protect Carr, then he's not going to get the ball to where it needs to go. And more importantly, not only that, what about the play calling?
That's right.
A bigger part. That's a big part of the offense. So they got rid of Olsen. So who do they plug them in with now?
Whoa.
Let's grab that, but that ain't going to happen.
Whoa. Go back one sentence. They got rid of Olsen? Where is that?
Well, the offensive coordinator, didn't they release him?
No. The quarterback coach, Callahan, he was picked up by Cincinnati. Okay. Olsen is still on the team. Okay.
Okay. I must have read that wrong because I thought I saw something saying that they released him.
Well, if I want to see the source on that, I have not seen that. As far as I know, Greg Olsen is still the OC. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I did not see that. The only coach that I know that they got rid of, Derek Ainsley went to Tennessee. Callahan went to the Bengals, and one of the other coaches went with Callahan to Cincinnati. So we lost two coaches to the Bengals, and Derek Ainsley, our defensive back coach, went to UT, and so we lost our D-backs coach. Brenson Buckner came in as a defensive backs coach. So that, like I said, I have not seen anything about Olsen.
That he's going to be the guy doing the plays?
No, he wasn't. Olsen wasn't doing the plays last year. It was Gruden.
Okay, what's called said right here? John says Olsen was still the OC, but Gruden calls the plays anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so then our offensive coordinator is just being a front for Gruden. Gruden's winning the OC and the HC?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Olsen is more of a offensive senior assistant and quarterback, like not a quarterback coach, but a quarterback whisperer, really. That's what Greg Olsen's job is.
Oh, boy. He's like taking on one too many roles.
Well,
he's like the young version of Al Davis.
Well, there you go. There you go. Hey, by the way, if you want to call in, you can knock out my boy Ruben, 813-699-0834. We've been on for almost 2 hours, so you can be the last call on the show.
How do you feel about them getting Murray if they do go after them? Because there's been a lot of talk, and all it is talk.
Yeah, I don't want Kyler Murray because I think he's not worth a pick by the Raiders. At number 4, I don't think he's worth a pick by the Raiders at number 6. I don't think
somebody in the comment section said that they think he's going to be a bust. I forgot who said it.
It was Tommy Beard.
I
think Tommy Beard said he's going to be a bust. I don't think he's going to be great. I don't know whether he's going to be a bust, but I don't think he's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. And we have an unknown caller, Ruben. I got to let you go, brother. Take care.
That's fine. Thanks, Captain.
All right, take care. That was Ruben. Unknown caller. Who am I talking to?
It's your buddy Jared, Captain Jack.
Oh, right, Jared. Well, your number didn't come up for some reason. I don't know why. Talk to me, Jared. What's going on?
Nothing. I gotta say, what the hell's going on? I mean, first off, they let McCarron and they let Jordy Nelson go. What's up with that? I thought they would have kept Jordy.
Well,
I don't understand that.
the reason why, in my mind, the reason why that they cut Jordy was they actually had plans for Jordy, but they were smart enough last year to move up his what do you call it? The extra bonus was moved up last year, 3.6. They paid half of it last year, so they paid 1.8. They tacked it on last year, and this year it'll just go down as 1.8. So that's all that it's costing the Raiders to cut him was 1.8. Obviously, they got rid of McCarron because they needed the extra $5 million. Okay.
Yeah.
And, Gruden said, yeah, he's coming back, but I don't think Gruden knew that he was going to get both Antonio Brown and Terrell Williams. And that's the reason why Jordy was let go. And and they said that Jordy might be able to come back at a later time. I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, if you're Jordy Nelson, do you really want to come back to Oakland for another year when you can go somewhere else? Maybe go back to somewhere, Green Bay or somebody else will want him. I think that Nelson will go somewhere else.
Yeah, talk about receivers. The Steelers go after Moncrief from Jacksonville, however, which was a surprise. And then they got McCullers re-signed, and they got a couple other guys re-signed. Of course, the big free agent signing today was Golden Tate going to the G-Men to replace Beckham. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there in New York with him going to New York, though. But I don't know. I mean, the Raiders, like I said, it seemed like AB was all smiles and grins yesterday, Howard. And hopefully he keeps a straight head. I mean, they took a billboard out. Actually, he took the billboard out, I should say. Not they did, however. But he took it out himself and said, Pittsburgh fans, thank you for the 9 years, Howard. Thank you, Pittsburgh, and just flashed up on the board. So it seems like he's already making very good friends in Oakland right now, and it seems like he's having a good old time, Howard. And it's like, I wish him nothing but the best. Let's see what he does out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, he definitely was not feeling it the last year in Pittsburgh, and there was a falling out. It was a little bit of a what do you call it? That he was trying to kiss and make up with the Steeler fans, and that's good. And I think that obviously Antonio Brown is going to be a godsend for the Raiders. I think he's going to be a second coming of Jerry Rice and not the second coming of Randy Moss. I think that he's going to bust his ass and do well for us.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Seems like I said, with him and Mayock and Gruden at the press conference, you could just tell he was happy. Now, tomorrow we understand they're taking a vote, I think. Aren't they, on the stadium issue? And what's the latest on the stadium issue? I know they're supposed to have everything finalized by tomorrow, I hear. Yeah,
they're supposed to do it tomorrow, and I'm guessing that maybe, I don't know if anybody in the ticket office works on Saturday, but I'm pretty sure that I'm probably going to get my season ticket call on Monday, and they better call me at work because I keep telling them I don't answer my phone. My phone is locked up during the day because I work at my government job, so I can't answer the phone. So you better call me at my work number. I'm going to do it again just to make sure that they call me at the right number.
Yeah, sure. I think everything's finalized, and I think this will be the last year you see the Coliseum being played, and then by 2020 and 16 months, they'll be in Las Vegas ready to go. I
think so too. And to be honest, they better be done in by 2020 because I tell you, I don't want to go out to Oakland another year. Other than, I'll make plans to go out this year in 2019. But damn it, I ain't going out there in 2020. I'm going to Vegas in 2020. And
I'll tell you what, this would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice, though, and I'm dreaming about this right now. I don't know the schedule well in advance, but wouldn't it be funny if the Raiders right now talk to the Steelers and say, hey, for our first regular season game, it's a Sunday night game or a Monday night game. We play the Steelers in that game.
Where, you mean in Vegas?
Yeah. Vegas, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends upon what if we're due to play the AFC North in 2020. Are we playing the North in 2020?
I haven't seen the future schedules yet. I'm going to pull it up right now. I know they have it well in advance. The FBS schedules, how, like I said, they have this all set, how, like, the NFL schedule is well in advance, how, like I said, how our future NFL schedules. Let me take a look. How 20, I'm looking right now. And Oakland here. Let's see here. Oakland, like, okay, I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, 2020, it's it's going to be 2021, believe it or not. You're going to be coming to Pittsburgh, and then after that, nothing. But in 2020, however, you got home games to Miami, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, the AFC South, Denver, KC, LA, and Buffalo. Actually, the AFC North is going to be away, believe it or not.
Yeah. So what I thought is, like I said, you play everybody in the AFC every 3 years. You play everybody in the NFC every 4. So, like I said, and obviously there are 2 games against people in your conference based upon where you are record wise. So the only way that we would be playing the Steelers in Vegas in 2020 is if the Raiders and the Steelers were at the same level in their division this next year in 2019.
Yeah, well, looking ahead at 2020, it says another game away. But the thing is, though, you're playing the AFC North in 2020, but then you're playing again the Steelers in 2021 away. You should just reschedule one of those games and just keep the 2020 game here in Pittsburgh next year. And then 2021 have the home game in Las Vegas, because you can get that home game back, because you're going to be going to London this year with the Raiders.
I tell you what, there, Jared, you talk to the guys that run the schedule, and I'll say what Jared said.
But I'm looking at their home schedule right now. You got Denver, KC, the Chargers, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Chicago, Detroit, Cincy, Denver, Green Bay, Houston, Indy, KC, Minnesota, the Jets, and the Chargers away. I'm saying right now, I mean, we saw last year with Denver how I think you're going to open up with Kansas City at home. I have that good feeling telling me about that. And I think you're going to see maybe the last game of the Coliseum either again be Denver, or it could come down to maybe possibly Chicago.
Well, no, Chicago is in London.
Okay, Chicago's in London. Okay, so cross that out. Let's see. Last home game would be, if it's not, it could be Denver again. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It could be Denver again, because you could open up with KC unless you play Denver in the home opener and then close it out with Kansas City.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as I don't play Kansas City in December or January. I'm sick and tired of having those games out there where it's too cold. I want to go out to Kansas City and see some friends and hang out, but I don't want to freeze my cojones off.
I say you go
doing
late September, middle of October. I would say mid-October for Halloween would be a good trip. Well, Monday night game, or hell, even to freaking Green Bay Monday night in Lambeau.
Well, here's the thing. I am going to Minnesota. No, and I am going to Green Bay because I can't plan for that other than the fact that that's just the way it is. And I'm going to go there because the next time I would even be eligible to go there is in another 8 years. Okay.
Sure.
So I'm going to Minnesota. I'm going to Green Bay. And if it just so happens that it's in the dead of winter, so be it. But I'm going to hope and pray that one of those games is at least somewhat hospitable in climate. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking ahead here. I'm trying to pull up the Steelers schedule right now, see what they got this year. I mean, this is their schedule here, looking ahead at 2019. You got Baltimore, Cincy, Cleveland, Buffalo, Miami, the Rams, the Hawks, and the Colts at home. Baltimore, Cincy, Cleveland, New England, the Jets, the Niners, Arizona, and the Chargers away this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking right now. I'm saying right now, I'm thinking at most, I mean, the schedule's not going to be enough for at least a month from now. So I'm thinking right now, however, they're probably going to get, however, and I'm thinking the Rams might be a Sunday night game at home. I can see that happening with Goff and Ben. Seattle would be a Monday night game I could see in prime time here in Pittsburgh, depending on with Wilson, because Wilson's still being talked about being shopped out of Seattle. Away-wise, I could see Arizona get a Monday night game out in Arizona because the Seahawks fans would travel to Phoenix. They would get the Thursday night game opener against New England because they've already been discussing that since the middle of February over the last 5 weeks. And that could be the first game of the season. I could see 4 primetime games for Pittsburgh this year. I really could, 3 or 4, the way I see it.
Well, you know what? Remember, Pittsburgh did not make the playoffs last year. Normally, the guys that make the playoffs are the ones that get at least 3 or 4 primetime games. I understand that Pittsburgh is a fan favorite, but don't count everybody wanting to see the Pittsburgh in prime time just because they're the Steelers. And I'm not saying it to mac on you. I'm just saying I'm just saying that there might only be 2 primetime games for the Steelers based upon the fact that they are a non-playoff team from last year. So I don't automatically give Pittsburgh even 3 primetime games. I give them maybe 2. Because if you remember, the Steelers-Raiders game last year was supposed to be a Sunday night game. I went out for it thinking it was a Sunday night game, and it got flexed to Sunday afternoon because both the Steelers and the Raiders sucked last year.
Well, like I said, the draft's a month away. However, like I said, I haven't read the USA Today latest mock drafts and everything like that, but we're going to find out in the next 2 or 3 weeks what's happening. I think free agency is going to slow down maybe this week and be St. Patrick's Day and everything, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see what happens next.
Okay, well, I've seen what is it? Pittsburgh, the Monongahela, the other rivers there. Nice and green for St. Patty's Day. Just make sure that you get home safe there, Jared.
Oh, I will. I'm going to be around my neighborhood, basically. The bar is down the street from my house. I can just walk you down there, and I'm back home in no time. It's like maybe 2 minutes away, so I'm real close by and everything. Okay,
well, again, when the Raiders go to Pittsburgh, I'm either going to hang out with you or there is a sailor that is a big Pittsburgh fan that I knew from my time in the Caribbean. I'll probably stay with her and her wife. Yes, I said that correctly. Her and her wife in Pittsburgh. Yeah. So I know I'm either going to stay with her or I'm staying with you, but the party will be there when I get in there when the Raiders come to Pittsburgh, whenever it will be.
No problem. I'll introduce you to some of my friends. And like I said, I tailgate with my dad and my cousins. That we do it right near up from the same. It's about like we walk from where we're at to the same. It's like 5 minutes of a walk. It's not too bad of a walk.
Yeah. Well, say hey to everybody in Pittsburgh. Thanks for running down that other conversation that we were talking about the other day.
No problem. I'm still working on that, and I'll be in touch with you very soon before the draft for sure.
All right. Hey, thanks again there, Jared. Always a good time hearing from you, brother. All right. Thanks again. That was my boy, Jared, my I don't want to say my lone Pittsburgh fan, but the one that actually does call in. It's 11 o'clock, and unless I get another phone call, we'll call it. I mean, I don't want to say time of death because I would never say something like that. Time of show conclusion. I'm not going to call it yet. There's still about 7 minutes to make it a 2 hour, 15-minute show. So if you want to call in, and be my last call of the night, make it quick. Doc, good to see you over there. Mern Shepard, good to see you as well. Ricardo, everybody, if you're on Facebook, thank you for being here, but go to YouTube. I keep saying this, the picture is a lot better on YouTube. The sound is a lot better. And eventually, it's just going to be on YouTube. I'm trying to grab everybody from Facebook and bring them over to YouTube. Because when the season starts, I'm not going to have time to run 2 broadcasts during the game or after the game when I do my show. And it's going to be on YouTube. So please, and I thank you for watching on Facebook. I thank you for watching on Facebook, but come to YouTube. Better production quality on YouTube. Come there. It's Captain Jack Rackham Levy on YouTube. Okay. Come in, subscribe. When we do a show, I will tell everybody on Facebook when the show is, but come to YouTube. So we got a little bit of time. And thanks again. Who did we pick up? Yeah, I saw everybody. And I want to say thank you to everybody who is here. Oh, I'm Cheryl. I thank you for coming in as well. Always good to see my awesome lady from Las Vegas. Stacy, I'm not sure if you're still here, but I loved having you here. I loved having Valerie here. I love my wenches, love my Raiderettes. So it's always a pleasure. Gentlemen, all that have called in tonight, we had Jared, we had Tommy, we had Ruben, we had Doc Burdett, we had Ed Winchell, we had Hot Neil, we had on the phone to begin with the broadcast, we had Raider Ike Ekajuba. That was a great call for Ike. Tommy called in. I don't know whether I said Tommy or not. Stacy hopefully can call another time. I want to hear from Stacy. I want to hear from Valerie like I did before. I want to hear from all my Raiderettes because it's a better show when the ladies come and join us. It is. It's a better show. Lane was here. Good to see that. Willie, thanks again. Mike Mercado, I appreciate your on-spot analysis. And everybody that contributes, Neil Backman, thank you for contributing on both pages, getting folks over here and doing that. Again, if I missed you and I didn't say anything, I apologize. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate everybody that's coming out, that's giving comments, that's calling in, that's contributing. I appreciate that. And again, Johnny, I forgot about Johnny. Johnny, who is doing the graphics for for Captain Jack. I can't beat that. Johnny is awesome. And everybody, like I said, I appreciate you being a fan of the captain. So, because it looked like we're not going to get a call, I'm going to do my final closing thoughts here. And again, sorry, I had something on my foot. It is Pie Day, and I hope everybody got their pie. I didn't get one, unfortunately. I'm probably going to have to go find not a devil dog, but one of those peanut butter things that I like. Anyway, it's Pie Day. It's 3/14. 14 March. I say this now. I say it wholeheartedly. No one wins a Super Bowl in the middle of March. No one. So everybody that is high and feeling great because the Raiders picked up some great players, you can feel that way. But that doesn't mean that this team and any team will need to get those players to gel and come together in a quote-unquote team effort to be as great as they need to be. So with that in mind, Antonio Brown and Terrell Williams are going to be great for the Raiders. But they're not going to be great if Derek Carr is on his ass, because other than Kenny Stabler throwing a touchdown from the back of his ass, it doesn't happen in the NFL. And by the way, if your butt hits, you're down. So there is no touchdown. They changed the rules on that. So if Trent Brown doesn't do his job, if Denzel Good doesn't do his job with Gabe Jackson, if Miller doesn't do his job at one tackle, and Rodney snaps the ball, does his job, and if somebody's injured, if Brandon Parker doesn't do his job as the swing tackle so far, the offensive line needs to do their job. And hopefully they will. Now, I don't care who the offensive line coach is. It can be Peter Pan or Peter, Paul, and Mary. Right now, it's Tom Cable. Hopefully, he does his job. And that is getting the best 5 offensive linemen on the field and making sure they do their jobs. So hopefully that'll happen. I'll leave you with that. I'm Captain Jack. Thank you for joining me on the Ask Captain Jack show. We'll see you on Thursdays for continued Raider talk in the Ask Captain Jack show. Please join us on Sundays for the You Don't Know Jack About Sports show. And that's the way it's going to be until the start of the season, and then we're going to flip-flop them. The You Don't Know Jack About Sports show is going to be on Thursdays, and the Ask Captain Jack show is going to be on Sunday. And be sure to join us during the off season and when there's a chance during the season for the Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast, where I have the interviews with these great players or great participants in the game. Jim, do you remember referee Jim Tunney is on the 27th of March, and next Wednesday, Otis Sistron will be joining us. So, just as soon as I get ready to sign off, you know, Jimmy Farrell, if it was anybody else, I would just say I'm not going to answer the phone, but I'm going to answer it for you. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, brother. You give me your best shot at 5 minutes.
Captain,
How you doing?
Thanks a lot for showing up tonight.
Well, I didn't watch the game because I was doing the show, but Tommy told me that the last he told me it was like 5-2 Caps. So what was the final score?
Yeah, you guys, your goalie Hart came back, and you guys didn't show up, and we won tonight with the last 3 minutes of the game with a game-winning goal. And as I'm watching the game, I'm looking at the score. I'm like, the Flyers ain't gonna win this game now. Now we're 2 points from Washington.
No. Now, but you're in. You're already got a playoff spot, correct?
Yeah, but if the Hunters win division, we have home field.
Home ice.
Home ice. Excuse me.
Yeah. But, here's the thing. There's a thing there, Jimmy. You get into playoffs, it's up to you to win. So I don't want to hear about, well, we don't have home ice, so we can't win. Bull crap. If you get into playoffs, your team will rise to whatever pinnacle you can get to, or you're going to crap out, and then you say, well, screw it, we'll wait until next year, right?
Well, it depends, what would you rather play, Carolina or Pittsburgh in the first round?
Personally, I'd rather play Carolina, but that doesn't mean that you're eventually going to have to meet Pittsburgh, so you're going to have to beat them eventually. So whether you do it in the first round or the second round.
Not necessarily. If Pittsburgh plays, play Washington?
Okay. Well, then let's look at it this way. You're going to have to beat Tampa, Pittsburgh, Boston, or Washington eventually. And you're probably going to have to beat two of those guys eventually. If you can't beat them, it doesn't matter when you play them, correct?
True. But you know what? I'm not afraid of any. The only team I'm afraid of in the playoffs
is Boston. Right. I know, because they're physical, and you don't know. I don't know. And like I said, Boston is going to be a tough game for anybody, because they are physical and they play that tough, middle ice, kind of like the old trap, like the old Devils used to play. And they're physical, and they muck you up for 60 minutes and they make you tired. And in a 7-game series, they're going to make you tired having to go through them. So, again, you're going to have to beat Boston. You're going to have to beat Pittsburgh. You're going to have to beat Washington. And you're going to have to beat Tampa Bay. Now, you might not have to beat all of them, but you're going to have to beat two of those teams. And if you can't beat two of those teams, you don't deserve to go on anyway.
True. And given how that lineman we traded for is the Jets. My son wants to know. He's a Jets fan. He wants to know how that lineman is that got traded from Oakland to the Jets.
Well, tell him that Kelechi Osemele is a Pro Bowler when he's not injured. So last year he was playing hurt. And so if Kelechi Osemele goes out to New York and is up to form, he's going to be a very good pickup for the Jets because the Jets need help on the offensive line. The Raiders needed help more in the cap space that they got by getting rid of him and the pick that they got for him. So the Raiders got out of him what they needed at this time because he is a little on the older side, but if he comes back to form, it will be a fantastic pickup for the Jets.
Do you see them, the Raiders drafting a guard in this?
Yes. I see the Raiders drafting a guard somewhere in the draft. I'm not sure if it'll be in the, I think maybe in the, I think they're going to pick one of those third round picks back up. I think that maybe in the third round, if they get that pick back up that they got from Pittsburgh in the trade, either in the third through the seventh, they're going to pick up a guard. They're going to get an offensive lineman in this draft.
Who do you think? I mean, I think they'll draft. I mean, did you hear? Do you have Sirius Radio?
I don't have Sirius. It was costing me too much for getting a little out of it. What?
On the NFL channel, they had Mike Mayock. And he was saying that they were very close to not getting Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
They were, they were saying that on that Friday, they really didn't have a desire of getting him. But Pittsburgh called them, which I find that very surprising that Pittsburgh called Oakland.
No, well, here's the thing. Pittsburgh did not want to be left with that. They were being left with the goods for a player that did not want to be there and they needed to get rid of. So here's the thing. Mike Mayock and Gruden kept to their guns and they gave them the best offer that they had, which was a 3 and a 5. So that's what they did. They stuck to their guns and it ended up being that was the best that Pittsburgh was going to get.
Right.
So they took the best that they were going to get. But for us, it was a good trade. So I saw a meme today about two Pittsburgh fans, a father and a son or a mother and a daughter, both wearing bags over their head, crying. And I guess the meme was like that feeling you get when you get ass raped in a trade or something along one of those lines. So, but it's funny because last year they took us badly in the trade, but this year we turned the tables on them. So good for Mayock and Gruden sticking to their guns.
Well, Pittsburgh first wanted a first round, but Mayock said no, because I don't think we can do that. And I think that they got Antonio Brown because with the guarantee money that they gave them.
Yeah.
With them over the top.
Well, like I said, Antonio was going to wherever Pittsburgh could get their best prize for him. Whatever Antonio Brown got was they don't care about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown got a deal that the Raiders did to make him happy, but it worked out well for all parties for Brown and the Raiders. And you know what? The Steelers didn't screw us this year on a draft.
Right. Did you see the video of him going to Derek Carr's house?
Yes, I have. And that's just me.
What do you think that? I think that's just him like a smoking gun when he's got his hair all nice. He took the blonde mustache. I just think I just don't trust him because I just think one game, if he's not going to get the ball as much, he's going to be explode, on call. I just don't. I mean, I know he's a great talent. He's a potential Hall of Famer, but I just don't think. I think he's gonna, with that attitude, he just, you know what I mean?
I agree, Jimmy, and I agree to a point. But you know what? Antonio's here. I think he got a 3-year deal, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. The point is this, okay? If he's gonna bitch and moan and complain, he's not gonna be on this team very long. I'm telling you that.
Right.
If he doesn't play,
I don't think Roy's got to take his crap.
right,
You know?
right. If he doesn't play up to specs, he's not going to be here very long. And Jimmy, I tell you, I'm going to let you go, brother, because you're coming up on 10 minutes, and I got to wrap up the show.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you.
All right, good. Thanks for calling, partner.
Okay.
All right. That was Jimmy Farrell. That is definitely my last call. I had a fantastic going out the door. And I love Jimmy Farrell. I'm not going to say no to him. And Skip Bayless prefers, you know what? That's Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is I don't even need to say the words. First off, he's a Dallas homer. And he doesn't like anything that deals with the Raiders. So Skip Bayless can munch a jock. Skip Bayless can munch on a jock. That's all I'm going to say. That's as gross as I'm going to get. So again, I say to you, I appreciate everybody calling in to the show. I appreciate everybody that we had calling in. If you're here on Facebook, please come over to YouTube. You'll get a better sound quality and a better picture. And thank you for joining us tonight. Bill Dixon, I saw, came in late. Brian's mom. Gary Lund. Yeah, Gary's pumped. And, hey, Bill Dixon from the Middle East, thank you for joining me, brother. Bill, if you can, go to YouTube because you're going to get better reception and better sound quality, Bill. Go to the YouTube channel, Captain Jack Rackham Levy, when you can, okay? If you can. I know that, some of the choices out there are, you don't know. But I'm telling you, in football season, when football season comes in, I'm going to YouTube. I'm not going to be doing two channels, okay? And Brian's mom's over here. Thank you for coming over, Brian. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian himself is here. I'm sorry. But come on over to YouTube. Better sound quality, better picture. But thank you for joining me. Everybody that joined me, thank you for joining me tonight. Mates, wenches, everybody. This is the Ask Captain Jack show. We'll be doing this on Thursdays. Depending upon what happens this next week, I might do a show next Thursday. If not, definitely join me next Wednesday when Otis Sistrunk will be my guest on the podcast. So you're going to have a great time with a great Raider next Wednesday, Otis Sistrunk. So join me then, same channel, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Join me then, and we'll have a good time. So until then, everybody have a great weekend upcoming. We'll see you Sunday here on YouTube. There we go, here on YouTube. Facebook, come on over to YouTube, but Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, we'll have the You Don't Know Jack About Sports show, YouTube, Facebook, same time. Come on in, talk sports, and we'll see you guys then. Until then, Raider Nation. Have a good night. Take care, and we'll see you then. And take care of yourselves. Good night.